First contact. The vast, star-studded expanse of space stretched out before the bridge of the Zarkonian flagship, Vengeance. Captain Xelvor, a seasoned commander with a distinguished career, stood at the helm, his calculating gaze fixed on the small blue-green planet that had captured the attention of the Zarkonian Empire. "So this is the primitive world known as Earth," Xelvor mused, his mandibles twitching with a hint of curiosity. "Reports indicate the dominant species, called humans, are remarkably resilient, but ultimately technologically inferior to our own. Prepare the landing parties. We will make quick work of this conquest." The order was swiftly relayed, and within moments, sleek Zarkonian dropships descended upon the surface of the unsuspecting planet. As the alien vessels touched down in remote areas, heavily armed and armored soldiers poured out, fanning out to secure strategic locations and gather intelligence. In a small village nestled in the rolling hills of the American Midwest, a young farmer named Eli was tending to his crops when he noticed the strange, metallic craft hovering in the distance. Squinting his eyes, he watched in awe as the ships began disgorging strange, insectoid creatures. Panic seized him, and he dropped his tools, racing towards the nearest town to raise the alarm. "Aliens! Aliens have invaded!" Eli shouted as he burst into the town hall, drawing bewildered stares from the local citizens. "I saw them. Big ships and strange creatures. They're coming." The mayor, a grizzled man named Samuel, regarded the young farmer with skepticism. "Aliens, you say? Now, Eli, I know you've got a wild imagination, but this is no time for tall tales." Before Eli could protest, the distant rumble of heavy machinery echoed through the town, and the ground began to tremble. Stepping outside, the villagers watched in horror as a towering bipedal Zarkonian walker stomped into view, its metallic carapace gleaming in the midday sun. "Great Scott, he wasn't lying," Samuel exclaimed, his face paling. "Everyone, get to the storm cellar, now." As the terrified citizens scattered, Eli stood his ground, his heart racing. He had to find a way to warn the rest of the world, to rally humanity against this alien invasion. Turning on his heel, he sprinted towards the nearest telephone, determined to sound the alarm and defend his home. Across the globe, similar scenes unfolded as the Zarkonian landing parties established footholds, encountering a mix of bewilderment, fear, and sporadic resistance from the human population. Captain Xelvor observed the progress from the bridge of the Vengeance, his confidence unwavering. "The humans are proving to be more of a nuisance than a threat," he murmured to his second-in-command, Kellenar. "Once we have secured strategic locations and neutralized their military capabilities, they will have no choice but to surrender. This will be a quick and decisive victory for the Empire." Kellenar, a seasoned warrior, nodded in agreement. "Indeed, Captain. These humans may be more resilient than expected, but they are no match for our might. Soon, the Zarkonian banner will fly over this world, and a new era of Zarkonian domination will begin." Little did the Zarkonians know that their assessment of humanity was about to be shattered, as the people of Earth rallied to defend their home, unleashing a fury that would challenge the very foundations of the Zarkonian Empire. The invasion intensifies. As news of the alien invasion spread like wildfire across the globe, the governments of Earth convened in an emergency session at the United Nations headquarters in New York. Tension and fear filled the air, but among the representatives, a growing sense of determination began to take hold. "Ladies and gentlemen, we are facing an unprecedented threat," the Secretary General, a seasoned diplomat named Amara Sulaiman, announced to the assembled leaders. "These alien invaders, whom we now know as the Zarkonians, have established footholds in multiple regions, and their forces are advancing rapidly. We must act quickly and decisively to defend our planet." Around the table, the representatives exchanged worried glances, but a resolute voice broke the uneasy silence. "We cannot simply surrender to these invaders," the American president, a former military officer named Sarah Winters, declared. "Our people have faced adversity before, and we have always risen to the challenge. We must rally our militaries, our scientists, and our citizens to fight back against this threat." The word struck a chord with the other leaders, and soon a flurry of activity erupted as the nations of the world mobilized their resources and coordinated a global defense strategy. Scientists and engineers worked tirelessly to reverse engineer Zarkonian technology, while military forces around the world prepared for the coming battle. In the skies above the planet, the Zarkonian fleet continued its relentless advance, bombarding key strategic locations and reinforcing their ground forces. Captain Selvor observed the progress with growing unease, his confidence beginning to waver. "The humans are proving more resourceful than we anticipated," he murmured to Kellenar. "Their ability to coordinate a global response is concerning. We may need to adjust our tactics." Kellenar, ever the loyal second-in-command, shook his head. "Impossible, Captain. The humans are no match for our superior technology and military might. They will break, just as all other civilizations have before them." Selvor nodded, but a nagging doubt lingered in the back of his mind. The humans were not behaving like the primitive, disorganized species they had been led to believe. Their resilience and adaptability were rapidly becoming a cause for concern. As the Zarkonian invasion continued, the people of Earth rallied together, driven by a shared determination to protect their home. Scientists and engineers worked around the clock, devising ingenious countermeasures and innovative weapons to combat the alien threat. Military forces from every corner of the globe coordinated their efforts, leveraging unique regional strengths to form a formidable, unified defense. In the face of this unexpected unity and resourcefulness, the Zarkonians began to falter, their initial momentum slowing as they encountered fiercer resistance than they had anticipated. The tide was turning, and the humans were proving that they were no ordinary species. They were a force to be reckoned with. The tide turns. As the Zarkonian invasion continued to grind against the determined resistance of the human defenders, Captain Selvor found himself increasingly perplexed by the course of the battle. His once confident predictions of a swift and decisive victory had been shattered, replaced by a growing sense of unease and uncertainty. "Something is not right, Kellenar," Selvor mused, his clawed fingers drumming against the gleaming console of the Vengeance's bridge. "The humans are adapting to our tactics far too quickly. Their coordination and technological advancements are beyond what our intelligence reports had indicated." Kellenar, ever the loyal second-in-command, stepped forward, his imposing frame casting a shadow over Selvor's station. "Surely, Captain, you do not doubt our ability to overcome these primitive creatures. We have faced and conquered countless civilizations before. The humans are no exception." Selvor's mandibles twitched with a hint of irritation. "I do not doubt our military might, Kellenar, but the humans are proving to be a more formidable adversary than we anticipated. Their adaptability and resourcefulness are troubling. We may need to reconsider our strategies if we are to secure victory." Across the globe, the human defenders were indeed proving their mettle. Rallying under the banner of a unified command, they had managed to blunt the Zarkonian advance, utilizing a combination of guerrilla tactics, advanced technology, and sheer determination to turn the tide of the invasion. In the skies above the North American continent, a squadron of human fighter pilots engaged a Zarkonian assault force, their advanced fighter craft darting and weaving through the alien vessels with unparalleled agility. The Zarkonian pilots, accustomed to the raw power and firepower of their larger warships, found themselves outmaneuvered and outmatched by the humans' superior piloting skills. "Break formation, focus fire on the smaller craft," a Zarkonian commander barked, his mandibles clicking in frustration as he watched his ships take heavy casualties. But the human pilots had anticipated this tactic, and they responded with a series of coordinated maneuvers that bewildered and overwhelmed the Zarkonians. One by one, the alien vessels were destroyed, their wreckage plummeting to the earth below. On the ground, human engineers and scientists had managed to reverse engineer Zarkonian technology, creating advanced defensive systems and innovative weaponry that allowed the military forces to stand their ground against the invaders. Armored vehicles equipped with energy shields and directed energy weapons clashed with the Zarkonian walkers, their firepower proving more than a match for the alien war machines. As the battle raged on, the Zarkonians found themselves increasingly on the defensive, their initial momentum stalling in the face of the humans' tenacity and adaptability. Captain Selvor watched the unfolding events with growing concern, his once unshakable confidence replaced by a sense of unease. "It appears we have underestimated the humans," he admitted, his voice laced with a hint of grudging respect. "They are proving to be a far more formidable adversary than we expected. We must reevaluate our strategies if we are to emerge victorious." The tide had turned, and the humans were no longer the easy prey the Zarkonians had anticipated. The battle for Earth was far from over, but one thing was clear: the Zarkonians had picked the wrong species to challenge. The Zarkonian Dilemma. As the battle for Earth raged on, the Zarkonian Empire found itself in an increasingly precarious position. The initial assumption that the humans were a primitive, technologically inferior civilization had been shattered, replaced by a growing realization that they had severely underestimated their adversaries. Captain Selvor paced the bridge of the Vengeance, his mandibles clicking with a mixture of frustration and concern. "The humans have proven far more resourceful and adaptable than our intelligence reports had indicated. Their ability to coordinate a global defense and reverse engineer our technology is unprecedented." Kellenar, the second in command, stood at attention, his expression grim. "Then we must redouble our efforts, Captain. The humans may be proving more resilient than expected, but they are no match for the might of the Zarkonian Empire. We must deploy additional forces and overwhelm them with our superior firepower." Selvor shook his head, his clawed fingers drumming against the console. "That is precisely the problem, Kellenar. We have already committed a significant portion of our military resources to this campaign, and the humans continue to adapt and counter our strategies. Further escalation may not be the answer." The admission was a rare one for the seasoned Zarkonian commander, who had built his reputation on decisiveness and unwavering confidence. But the events unfolding on Earth had shaken his certainty, forcing him to confront the possibility that the Zarkonian Empire had indeed picked the wrong species to challenge. Across the vast expanse of space, the Zarkonian High Command convened an emergency session, their heated debates echoing through the halls of the Imperial Citadel. The news of the humans' resilience and technological advancements had sent shockwaves through the established order, forcing the Zarkonian leadership to grapple with a dilemma of unprecedented magnitude. "We cannot afford to lose this war," the First Lord, a formidable and unyielding figure, declared. "The Zarkonian Empire has never been challenged in this manner, and the implications of a defeat would be catastrophic. We must commit our full might to the conquest of this planet, no matter the cost." But others in the room, seasoned military strategists and diplomats, raised concerns about the feasibility and potential consequences of such a course of action. The human defenders had proven their ability to adapt and counter the Zarkonians' tactics, and the prospect of a prolonged and costly conflict weighed heavily on their minds. "We must consider alternative approaches," a veteran admiral spoke up, his voice measured and thoughtful. "Perhaps it is time to reevaluate our objectives and explore the possibility of negotiating with these humans. It may be in our best interests to seek a peaceful resolution." The mere suggestion of negotiation with the primitive species they had once so readily dismissed sent shockwaves through the chamber, and the debate descended into a cacophony of heated arguments and impassioned pleas. As the Zarkonian High Command grappled with this unexpected dilemma, the humans on Earth continued to wage their desperate battle for survival, their determination and ingenuity proving to be a formidable force against the alien invaders. The fate of both civilizations now hung in the balance, as the Zarkonians faced a reckoning that would forever challenge their assumptions and reshape the course of galactic history. Humanity's ascension. The battle for Earth had raged on for months, with both the Zarkonian Empire and the unified forces of humanity fighting fiercely for control of the planet. The humans, driven by an unshakable determination to defend their home, had managed to blunt the alien invasion through a combination of innovative technologies, tactical brilliance, and unwavering resolve. On the bridge of the Vengeance, Captain Selvor watched the unfolding events with a mix of frustration and grudging respect. "The humans continue to defy our expectations," he muttered, his clawed fingers tapping against the console. "Their ability to adapt and overcome our strategies is remarkable." Kellenar, the second in command, stood at Selvor's side, his expression grim. "Then we must commit more resources, Captain. The Zarkonian Empire cannot afford to be defeated by these primitive creatures." Selvor shook his head, his mandibles clicking. "That is precisely the problem, Kellenar. We have already invested a significant portion of our military might in this campaign, and the humans continue to prove themselves a formidable adversary. Further escalation may only lead to a costly and protracted conflict that the Empire cannot sustain." The admission was a difficult one, as the Zarkonian captain had built his reputation on decisiveness and unwavering confidence. But the events unfolding on Earth had shattered his certainty, forcing him to confront the possibility that the Zarkonian Empire had indeed picked the wrong species to challenge. Back on Earth, the human defenders had rallied under the banner of a unified global command, leveraging their collective resources and ingenuity to devise increasingly effective countermeasures against the Zarkonian invaders. Advances in energy shield technology, directed energy weapons, and sophisticated electronic warfare systems had allowed the human forces to hold their ground against the alien onslaught. In the skies above the planet, human pilots engaged in daring aerial maneuvers, their nimble craft darting and weaving through the Zarkonian warships with unparalleled agility. The alien pilots, accustomed to the raw power and firepower of their larger vessels, found themselves outmaneuvered and outmatched by the humans' superior piloting skills. On the ground, the human military forces had adapted Zarkonian technology to create formidable defensive fortifications and mobile assault platforms. Armored vehicles equipped with energy shields and directed energy weapons clashed with the Zarkonian walkers, their firepower proving more than a match for the alien war machines. As the battle raged on, the Zarkonians found themselves increasingly on the defensive, their initial momentum stalling in the face of the humans' tenacity and adaptability. The Zarkonian High Command, torn by internal debates and the realization of their miscalculation, struggled to devise a viable strategy to secure victory. Meanwhile, on Earth, the people of the world united in a shared sense of purpose, their determination fueled by the knowledge that they were fighting not just for their own survival, but for the future of their species and the entire galactic community. Scientists and engineers continued to push the boundaries of their technological capabilities, driven by the conviction that they were the architects of humanity's ascension. In the end, it was this unwavering spirit, this boundless resilience, that proved to be the humans' greatest weapon against the Zarkonian invaders. As the battle reached its climax, the humans struck a decisive blow, unleashing a devastating counterattack that shattered the Zarkonian forces and forced them into a desperate retreat. The Zarkonian Empire, once a formidable and seemingly unassailable power, had been humbled by the tenacity and ingenuity of the human species. The reverberations of this victory would be felt across the galaxy as the once underestimated humans emerged as a force to be reckoned with, poised to take